The stars shone quietly, like millions of tiny eyes watching the galaxy. Across light-years of space, countless civilizations listened, waiting for a voice that had always been faint, yet unique. Then, suddenly, it stopped. Earth had gone silent. On a small observation station orbiting a distant planet, the monitors blinked rapidly. Alien scientists leaned closer, their elongated fingers hovering over control panels. It is gone, one whispered. All transmissions from Earth have stopped. Panic spread like a virus. The station had been receiving human signals for decades, snippets of music, voices, even bursts of strange mathematics. But now, nothing. Complete silence. Far beyond that station, in another galaxy, councils of powerful civilizations gathered. Screens showed empty planets, still transmissions, and human words frozen in space. Some civilizations believed the humans had destroyed themselves. Others feared something terrible had awakened on Earth, something that could threaten the galaxy. Meanwhile, on Earth itself, life continued, but in strange, hidden ways. Deep underground, in secret facilities, scientists and leaders moved in tense coordination. Lights flickered as machines hummed, and data streamed across countless screens. Something had changed. Earth's signals had vanished from space, but not from the planet. A pulse of energy, barely understood even by humans, had spread across the globe. It was silent to the universe, but alive in its own way. Back on the distant station, alien monitors showed more anomalies. Satellites around Earth spun out of orbit, radio waves distorted and then disappeared. A flicker of signal appeared briefly, like a heartbeat. Then it vanished. "It is speaking," said another alien, voice trembling. But what could it mean? Was it a warning, or a trap? In the skies of many worlds, fleets of ships activated. Leaders had decided they would investigate Earth. Some sent scouts, some sent fleets. Across the stars, fear mingled with curiosity. Could humanity survive what had happened? Could humans even be responsible for their own silence? In orbit around the blue planet, the first alien scouts arrived. They expected ruins, maybe traces of advanced technology. Instead, they found perfect cities, still and quiet, as if everyone had vanished in an instant. Lights flickered inside buildings, screens blinked on and off, and strange, invisible forces seemed to push back against the aliens' probes. One ship tried to land. Its metal feet did not touch the ground. Some invisible barrier held it, and alarms screamed across the alien hull. Deep underground, humans were awake, aware, and waiting. They had discovered something the galaxy could not imagine. Earth itself was alive, in a way that went beyond biology or technology. It could think, act, and protect itself. Humans had become the guardians of this new consciousness. No one outside Earth could hear, but inside, the pulse of the planet carried messages, warnings, and knowledge. The alien scouts transmitted their findings back to their commanders. Panic spread faster than light. "The planet resists," one message read. "Do not attempt landing. It is aware." A council of alien leaders debated furiously. Some wanted to destroy Earth before it became too powerful. Others argued for observation, to learn from humans and their strange planetary companion. In secret, humans prepared a plan. They knew the galaxy would not understand at first. The silence was necessary. The pulse that kept the aliens away was only the beginning. Humans had to learn the limits of Earth's power before revealing it. They studied the strange energy flows, mapped the invisible barriers, and watched the stars, wondering which civilization would be the first to test the planet. And then, the briefest flicker appeared again on alien monitors. It was a sound, almost imperceptible, yet filled with meaning. "Do not come," it seemed to say. "We are alive. We are ready." Every civilization that observed it felt a chill. The message was clear. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was something new, something no one could control. Across the galaxy, every council paused. Every fleet hesitated. A single thought repeated in every mind: The humans were hiding a secret far greater than any weapon. And whatever that secret was, it had the galaxy's attention now. The stars watched silently, and Earth, quiet and hidden, waited. The humans inside its cities knew that soon, contact would come. And when it did, the galaxy would discover that the voice of humanity had never truly gone silent. It had only changed, becoming something far more dangerous, far more alive, and far more unpredictable than anyone could imagine. No one knew what would happen next. Some civilizations prepared for war. Others prepared for diplomacy. But all of them would remember the first moment they heard nothing at all. The moment when Earth went silent, and the universe realized that something extraordinary was awakening. The silence from Earth spread like a ripple across the stars. News traveled faster than light, reaching distant planets, space stations, and fleets that had been watching humanity for centuries. Panic set in everywhere. Governments, scientists, and armies all reacted in different ways, but the fear was the same. Something on Earth had changed, and no one knew what it was. On the capital world of the Saurian Empire, leaders argued fiercely. "We cannot ignore this," the High Commander said, his voice trembling. "If humans have vanished, it could be a natural disaster, or a trap. We must act before it is too late." His advisors disagreed. "Perhaps we should wait and observe. If we attack, we risk the unknown." But hesitation was dangerous. Across the galaxy, fleets were mobilizing, and spies were already investigating Earth. Alien historians and scientists began scanning old archives. They looked at every human signal ever sent into space. Music, images, mathematical codes. Human transmissions were strange, unlike anything else they had detected. They were chaotic, creative, and unpredictable. "This species is clever," one scholar murmured. "Perhaps they discovered something powerful. Perhaps they are hiding it." Meanwhile, fleets from several civilizations moved toward the solar system. Ships of all shapes and sizes raced across the void. Some carried weapons that could destroy planets. Others brought emissaries with words of diplomacy, hoping to learn what had caused Earth's silence. In every case, there was uncertainty. No one knew what they would find, and the uncertainty made every moment dangerous. Back on Earth, humans worked tirelessly in secret facilities. Scientists monitored satellites, planetary energy readings, and the strange pulses that had blocked alien probes. They were learning to control Earth's new consciousness, understanding its patterns, its moods, and its power. It was growing stronger, faster than they had imagined. Every signal that went out into space was carefully controlled. Humans could hide, they could defend, and they could observe without being seen. Alien scouts arrived first. They hovered above cities, their sensors scanning for life, technology, or signs of activity. What they found confused them. Streets were empty. Buildings were quiet. Machines worked, but with no visible operators. And everywhere, some invisible force seemed to push back at their instruments. One scout tried to land, but it was repelled by an unseen barrier. Panic spread quickly through the command center on the mothership. "The planet resists our approach," the captain reported. It is aware of us." The first transmissions from the scouts were brief, but alarming. "Do not come closer," one report said. "We cannot understand its power. Retreat immediately." The warning was ignored by some factions. Curiosity, ambition, and fear pushed fleets closer to the solar system. Some hoped to destroy Earth. Others wanted to study it. All underestimated the human secret. On Earth, a council of leaders watched the approaching fleets. "They will come," one human said. "They do not understand. Earth is alive, and it will defend itself. But we must be careful. One wrong move, and the galaxy will see our planet as a threat instead of a home." Scientists nodded. Every pulse, every signal, every energy flow was part of a delicate balance. The planet itself seemed to respond to their intentions, calm when humans were calm, tense when humans feared. In orbit, the alien scouts recorded strange phenomena. Lights flickered across cities in patterns that made no sense. Energy fields formed and disappeared. Drones sent to map the surface vanished without explanation. One scout detected a faint pulse, a rhythm that was almost like a heartbeat. Then it stopped. The aliens looked at one another. Could a planet be alive? Could it think? Could it act? Across the galaxy, political debates grew heated. Some civilizations wanted to attack immediately, fearing the humans might gain full control of their planet's power. Others argued for patience. "We do not understand them," one diplomat said. "If we provoke them, we may trigger something we cannot stop." Every decision was risky. Every action could spark a war that none were ready to fight. As the first night fell on Earth, humans continued their work underground. Machines hummed quietly. Screens displayed streams of data. The planet pulsed faintly, like a slow, steady drumbeat. Humans knew the galaxy was watching. They also knew the truth: Earth was no longer just a planet. It had become something more. And soon, the rest of the universe would see it. A faint flicker appeared in space, barely noticeable, almost like a whisper. The scouts recorded it, sent it to their commanders, and watched in fear. The message was clear, though its meaning was unknown: Earth is alive. We are not alone. Approach with caution. Every fleet hesitated. Every council paused. Across countless star systems, the silence of Earth made everyone uneasy. They had expected chaos, or maybe emptiness. Instead, they found something impossible. And now, curiosity and fear were locked in a deadly balance, waiting to tip. The galaxy was on edge. The first moves had been made, and yet the true story had not even begun. Somewhere deep underground, humans watched, waited, and prepared. The silence of Earth had fooled the galaxy, but it would not last forever. The next encounter would decide everything. And as the stars watched quietly, the pulse of Earth grew stronger, like a heartbeat echoing across the void, warning every civilization: do not underestimate what sleeps on the blue planet. The first alien fleet reached the outer edge of the solar system. Ships of all shapes and sizes glided through the darkness, their engines glowing faintly against the stars. Commanders were tense, eyes fixed on the tiny blue planet ahead. Earth was supposed to be silent. It was supposed to be easy to study. But as they approached, something strange began to happen. Satellites that had orbited the planet for decades spun erratically. Some fell from orbit, flames licking across their metal bodies as they burned in the atmosphere. Others moved against the natural pull of gravity, as if invisible hands controlled them. Alien crews watched in disbelief. Nothing they had seen in centuries of space travel could explain it. The first ships sent drones down to the surface. They hovered above cities, scanning for life. Buildings were intact, roads empty, and screens inside offices flickered on and off as if alive. The drone sent images back to the mothership, but signals were delayed, scrambled, and sometimes lost entirely. "The planet resists us," the lead scout said, voice tight. "It is doing something. Something intelligent." A small landing party attempted to descend. Their metallic feet extended, aiming for a quiet street in what appeared to be a city center. The moment they touched the ground, alarms screamed. The feet lifted back up, repelled by an invisible barrier. The landing party tried again, but it was useless. Energy rippled outward, pushing them back. One of the aliens shouted, "It's alive! The planet itself is alive!" Inside the alien fleet, panic spread. Commanders argued. "Pull back," one shouted. "We cannot risk this." Another countered, "We need to know what they are hiding. We cannot retreat until we understand." Fear and curiosity battled for control of every mind on the bridge. Meanwhile, deep underground, humans watched the alien fleet through a network of hidden sensors. Their faces were calm, but their hearts raced. The planet pulsed beneath their feet, responding to the presence of the intruders. "They are close," one scientist said. "They will try something. Earth will respond. Are we ready?" Humans checked their systems. Every pulse, every energy flow, every defense was calculated. The planet's consciousness was strong, but still young. It could protect, but it also needed guidance. Above, the alien scouts tried one last attempt. They released smaller probes to infiltrate the cities. Almost immediately, strange phenomena occurred. Drones vanished mid-flight. Cameras showed distorted images, impossible angles, as if reality itself bent around them. Messages sent back to the fleet were filled with static, with one clear warning repeating over and over: do not enter. Earth is awake. Fear turned into fascination. The aliens had encountered powerful species before, but nothing like this. Here was a planet that could think, react, and protect itself. And yet, there were humans inside, seemingly calm, controlling the power with careful precision. Every signal that went out was part of a plan, every ripple a message, every pulse a shield. On the surface, the cities appeared quiet, almost peaceful. But beneath the streets, energy flowed like rivers of light. Machines hummed, walls shifted slightly, and subtle vibrations carried a warning through the air. Earth was alive, and it was waiting. The fleet's leaders received reports from every scout. We cannot land. We cannot communicate. We are blocked at every level. Some began to argue for retreat, but others refused. If we leave now, we may never understand what humans have done, one commander said. We have to try, no matter the risk. A sudden flicker appeared across all screens in the fleet, brief, almost imperceptible. It was like a heartbeat, steady and powerful. Every alien watching felt it deep in their minds. Fear, awe, and confusion mixed into a single thought: this planet is more than a home. It is a force. Deep underground, humans felt the pulse as well. It was stronger than ever, synchronized with the energy of Earth. The planet was aware, ready to defend, but also ready to communicate. Humans exchanged glances. They will test us, one said quietly. But Earth is prepared. And when the time comes, they will understand that we are not alone. In space, the alien fleet held position. No one dared move closer. Every ship felt the quiet threat emanating from the blue planet. Every commander knew that one wrong step could lead to disaster. The silence of Earth was no longer empty, it was alive, and it was watching. The first expedition ended without a single alien setting foot on the planet. Reports flew back to distant councils. Do not underestimate it, one final message warned. Earth is awake. It will defend itself. Approach with extreme caution. Across the galaxy, those words spread like wildfire. And somewhere beneath the cities, humans prepared for the next phase. They had not revealed everything yet. The pulse of Earth, alive and intelligent, continued to grow. The planet's secret was safe, for now. But soon, the galaxy would see that silence was only the beginning. Deep underground, far below the surface cities, humans moved quickly but quietly. Their laboratories hummed with energy, lights flickered over walls lined with screens, and machines pulsed in rhythm with something unseen. Earth was alive, they all knew that, and they had learned to feel its heartbeat. It was faint at first, like a whisper, but now it was strong, steady, and aware. Scientists watched monitors showing the alien fleets hovering at the edge of the solar system. The screens displayed small dots, moving slowly, unsure, hesitant. Every probe the aliens sent was destroyed or repelled by Earth itself. Humans did not need weapons. Earth was the weapon, the shield, and the guardian all at once. But they had to be careful. One wrong move could reveal the planet's full power before they were ready. Earth is ready, one scientist said softly. It can protect itself, but it can also communicate. We need to teach them, not destroy them. Around him, others nodded. They had discovered something that no other species had ever achieved: a planetary consciousness. Earth could think, act, and respond. It was a living entity, aware of every pulse of life upon it, aware of the alien fleets, aware of the galaxy itself. Humans had spent years learning to guide it, to focus its energy. Signals that had seemed random or invisible were carefully controlled. The planet could bend machines, block communications, and even influence satellites in orbit. It could make itself invisible or create illusions for those who watched from afar. The aliens had no idea what they were dealing with. In one control room, a leader spoke to the group. "We cannot let them panic. They will not understand immediately. If they attack, Earth will defend itself. But if they approach carefully, maybe we can teach them. Maybe they will see that life is more than weapons and power." Outside, the fleets waited, confused and frustrated. Every attempt to land, every drone sent to gather data, failed. And every time, Earth responded differently. Sometimes it was subtle, a flicker of light, a sudden static in communication. Sometimes it was overwhelming. Drones vanished entirely, machines shut down, and even the smallest ships experienced strange forces pushing them back. Humans watched and learned. They studied Earth's reactions, understanding its moods and strengths. They realized the planet was not just protecting them, it was thinking, choosing what to do next. And with every choice, humans guided it carefully. They were the planet's guardians, and the planet protected them in return. A scientist spoke into a microphone that connected to deep sensors. "We need to show them we are not a threat. If we reveal too much too soon, they might react violently. We need patience. Earth is powerful, but patience is stronger than force." Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien scouts recorded every anomaly. Machines moved as if alive, lights blinked in patterns that seemed deliberate, and strange energy waves pulsed across the planet's surface. The reports were filled with confusion, fear, and awe. "The planet is not just alive," one alien whispered. "It is intelligent. And humans control it somehow." Back underground, humans prepared a controlled signal. It was brief, subtle, and designed to communicate. The pulse of Earth aligned with their instructions. Through this signal, humans could send a message to the fleets without using words, something all civilizations could perceive in their own way. It was a test, a way to show that Earth was alive and that humans were not hiding destruction. The signal went out. Across the galaxy, the alien fleets felt it. It was strange, unlike anything they had sensed before. Some reported a feeling of calm, others of curiosity, and a few of fear. The message was simple: Earth is alive. Humans are aware. Approach with caution. In the underground rooms, humans held their breath. The first reactions from the aliens were mixed. Some withdrew slightly, unsure of what they had sensed. Others prepared to observe, curious but cautious. One fleet commander sent a report: "The planet, it is more than we imagined. The humans are guiding it. We do not understand. We must wait and study." Humans allowed themselves a brief moment of relief. The first step had succeeded. The galaxy had been warned, but no harm had come to anyone. Earth's secret remained protected, and the aliens were beginning to understand that silence was not emptiness. Silence was strength. Silence was life itself. Yet humans knew the challenge was only beginning. The fleets would not stay still forever. Some would grow impatient, some would try to force their way in. Earth was powerful, but even it had limits. Humans had to guide it carefully, balance its strength, and prepare for the moment when the galaxy would no longer wait. As the heartbeat of Earth pulsed through underground corridors, humans looked to the future. They had discovered something extraordinary, something no other species had ever achieved. And now, the galaxy would have to learn that humanity was not silent, not weak, and not to be underestimated. The stars watched quietly, the alien fleets hesitated, and deep underground, humans and Earth waited together. Soon, the galaxy would understand that this planet was no longer just a world. It was alive, aware, and ready. Across the galaxy, councils of alien civilizations convened. Massive chambers filled with representatives from dozens of worlds, each species arguing in voices that echoed through the halls. The subject was Earth. Its silence, its strange power, and the reports from the first expeditions had thrown the galaxy into confusion. "We cannot ignore this," shouted one diplomat, claws slamming against a polished table. "Earth is alive, and humans control it. They have powers we cannot understand. If we delay, they may grow stronger. We must strike before it is too late." A quieter voice responded. "Strike? Do you not see? If we attack, we risk angering the planet itself. The reports are clear. Earth defended itself without firing a single weapon. They are not just hiding technology. This is something far greater. We need caution." The debate turned heated. Some civilizations wanted to destroy Earth immediately. They feared the humans might unleash the planet's full power, possibly threatening entire star systems. Others argued for observation and diplomacy, hoping to learn from humans rather than destroy them. Spies and emissaries had already been sent secretly, but most never returned. The planet seemed to detect any intrusion, any attempt to deceive, and quietly thwarted it. In one council chamber, a historian displayed recordings of human signals. "Look at this," she said, her voice calm amid the chaos. "The humans are creative, unpredictable, intelligent. Their communications are unlike any other species. And now, reports indicate they are not alone, they have Earth itself as an ally. This is not a threat we can fight with weapons." Meanwhile, fleets lingered near the solar system. They waited for instructions, hesitant to act but unable to ignore the strange force that had stopped every expedition so far. Some commanders argued for retreat, but pride and fear kept them in orbit. No one wanted to admit uncertainty in front of their peers. A smaller faction, curious and ambitious, proposed a risky plan. "We will send a single ship, disguised, close to Earth," their leader said. "We will observe, learn, and perhaps communicate. If humans are intelligent, they may allow a cautious approach. If not, we will retreat." The council murmured. Some approved, some opposed. The debate would continue for weeks, but the decision was made quietly. One ship would attempt contact. On Earth, humans monitored the movements. Deep underground, sensors and screens displayed the fleet's positions. The humans had learned to interpret the smallest anomalies, a ship drifting slightly, a sensor flickering, a pause in communication. Every fleet was aware of their presence, but humans had control. Earth itself pulsed in alignment with their intentions, ready to defend, ready to communicate, ready to teach. In orbit, the disguised alien ship approached cautiously. It moved slowly, careful not to trigger the planet's defenses. Sensors detected energy fields, distortions in space, and subtle vibrations in the ground. The ship's crew whispered among themselves, realizing they were stepping into a force unlike anything they had ever encountered. Back in the council chambers across the galaxy, tensions rose further. Reports came in, blackouts on nearby colonies, strange signals in distant communications, anomalies in energy flows. The silence of Earth was no longer quiet, it was active. Some began to fear the humans had unleashed something that could affect not just their planet, but entire star systems. Underground, humans watched calmly. They had anticipated these reactions. They had anticipated fear, curiosity, and greed. The first step had been patience. The next step was careful guidance. Earth was powerful, but it needed humans to direct its energy. They could warn, teach, or defend, but never attack unless absolutely necessary. The disguised alien ship reached orbit over a major city. Drones attempted to scan the surface, but Earth responded subtly. Machines shifted, lights blinked in patterns that seemed deliberate, and energy fields created gentle but firm barriers. The crew felt something strange, almost like a presence, watching, aware, thinking. Humans observed the ship. A single decision would determine the outcome. They could show the aliens their power, or they could send a controlled signal, a simple message of warning and peace. They chose the latter. The pulse of Earth flowed through the signal, reaching the ship without harming it. The message was simple, yet powerful. Earth is alive. Humans are aware. Approach with respect. The aliens felt it. Some experienced awe, others fear. The ship's crew reported back immediately, and the council across the galaxy listened. The debate had changed. Now they were not only uncertain, they were cautious. Earth was no longer a silent planet. It was active, intelligent, and defended. Yet even as caution spread, ambition remained. Some factions would not wait. Some would attempt intrusion, some would plot to control, and others would try to destroy. The humans knew the challenge was only beginning. The galaxy had been warned, but the real test was yet to come. And beneath the cities, deep in the underground facilities, humans watched the stars. They knew the universe was learning about Earth's power, and humanity's role. The pulse of the planet flowed steadily, quietly, and with intelligence. The galaxy had noticed. The story of Earth was far from over. The small alien ship hovered above the planet, engines humming quietly. Every sensor showed anomalies. Lights flickered across cities, energy waves pulsed in the atmosphere, and machines moved on their own. The crew tried to communicate, but signals were scrambled, distorted, even blocked completely. Every attempt to land or send drones failed. Inside the ship, the captain clenched his claws around the console. "This is impossible," he said. "The planet, it is alive. And humans, they are guiding it. We must proceed with caution." But caution was difficult when curiosity and fear battled inside the crew. Some wanted to retreat, some wanted to explore further, and one ambitious officer quietly prepared a probe capable of penetrating Earth's defenses. Deep underground, humans felt the pulse of the approaching ship. Earth's consciousness stirred, responding to the presence of intruders. The planet was aware, ready, and patient, but ready to act if necessary. Scientists and leaders monitored the energy flows carefully, guiding the planet's defenses. Machines, barriers, and subtle fields shifted in synchronization, preparing to protect the surface and the humans. The first probe attempted to descend. Almost immediately, the city beneath it seemed to resist. Invisible forces pushed back, energy pulses disrupted its path, and communications cut off mid-transmission. Crew members stared at the monitors in horror. "It is alive," one whispered. "It is stopping us. Everything is responding." The captain decided to try a direct approach. The ship lowered closer to the surface, careful to avoid triggering any extreme reaction. Streets below were empty, yet the hum of machines and the subtle movement of energy hinted at intelligence working behind the scenes. Every attempt at scanning, mapping, or landing met resistance, but it was controlled, deliberate. The planet was not attacking, only warning. Inside, humans watched and guided. They had prepared for this moment. Earth's pulse aligned with their intentions, creating fields that blocked unwanted intrusion while allowing observation. The humans could communicate subtly through energy patterns, showing the aliens that they were not a threat, if the aliens respected the rules. Suddenly, a wave of energy surged through the ship. Instruments went haywire, alarms blared, and the hull trembled. Crew members struggled to maintain control. On their screens, lights blinked in impossible patterns, forming sequences that seemed almost like messages. Fear gripped the ship. This was not a machine malfunction, it was Earth, alive and aware, responding to their presence. The captain ordered retreat. "We cannot land. Pull back." But one officer hesitated, trying to interpret the signals. "It's communicating. I think it wants us to understand." The tension inside the ship was unbearable. Every crew member felt the presence of the planet, alive and intelligent, and guided by humans below. Humans took a deep breath. This was the first real encounter, the moment when Earth showed its full power without harming anyone. They sent a carefully controlled pulse, aligning with the planet's energy. The message was simple: do not attack. We mean no harm. Observe, learn, and respect. The energy wave receded. Instruments stabilized. The crew felt the message in their minds, in their hearts, as if the planet itself had spoken. The humans had not fired a weapon. They had not destroyed a single probe. Yet they had proven that Earth was awake, intelligent, and aware. Across the galaxy, the reports spread rapidly. "The planet is not a threat in the way we feared," one fleet commander wrote. "But it is alive, and humans control it. Approach with caution. Do not provoke it." Fear, respect, and awe rippled through every civilization observing the system. Underground, humans watched the stars with calm satisfaction. The first confrontation had ended without bloodshed. They had guided Earth, defended it, and sent the first clear message to the galaxy. Humanity and its planet were awake. But they knew the galaxy would not remain patient forever. Ambition, fear, and curiosity would push civilizations closer to Earth again. Some would test the boundaries, some would try to deceive, and some might attempt to strike. Humans and Earth were ready, but the story was far from over. The pulse of the planet flowed steadily, synchronizing with human intention. Every flicker of light, every hum of machinery, every subtle vibration was part of a single, coordinated effort. Earth had defended itself without violence, taught without words, and revealed its power without destruction. Above, the alien ship slowly backed away, retreating to orbit. The crew was shaken, awed, and unsure. Reports to distant councils would carry the same message: Earth is alive. Humans are aware. Do not attack. Respect must come first, or the consequences will be unpredictable. And beneath the cities, humans prepared for what would come next. The galaxy had seen a glimpse of Earth's power, but not its limits. The first confrontation was over. The next phase, the real test of intelligence, patience, and diplomacy, was about to begin. The stars above Earth shimmered silently, as if holding their breath. Alien fleets hovered at the edge of the solar system, tense and uncertain. Every civilization that had watched, debated, and feared Earth waited for the next move. The galaxy had seen the planet's power, but none knew the full extent of what was coming. Deep underground, humans monitored the pulse of Earth. The planet's consciousness flowed like a river of energy, steady and aware. Humans had guided it carefully, learning to control its immense power without harming anyone. Now, the moment had come to send a message to the galaxy. A message that could change everything. Across space, the alien fleets felt it first as a subtle wave of energy, then as a pulse that resonated deep in their minds. Some crews reported feeling awe, others fear, and a few described the sensation as a dialogue with something greater than any known life form. Earth's message was simple but profound: life must survive. Violence will not save it. Learn, adapt, or leave. On the screens of councils across the galaxy, the transmission played differently for each civilization. Some saw symbols and lights that made sense in their own way. Others perceived it as a rhythm, a pulse, a feeling they could not ignore. Every fleet, every council, every observer understood one thing clearly: Earth was alive, intelligent, and awake. Humans watched quietly, letting the planet speak through its pulse. They had prepared for fear, aggression, and misunderstanding. They had prepared for fleets to attack, spies to infiltrate, and chaos to spread. But what unfolded was something unexpected. Many civilizations paused, reflecting on their own actions, questioning their motives. Some fleets withdrew, realizing that aggression would be suicidal. Others sent slow, cautious emissaries, hoping to learn rather than fight. The planet's pulse grew stronger, synchronized with human intention. It extended beyond Earth, touching nearby planets, bending energy fields, and showing the universe a power it had never seen before. Not destructive, but intelligent, aware, and deliberate. For the first time, a planet was communicating its will to the galaxy, and humanity was the voice of that consciousness. Even the most ambitious and aggressive civilizations hesitated. They had prepared fleets, weapons, and strategies for conquest. Now, faced with a living planet guided by humans, they understood that their plans were meaningless. Earth had proven that intelligence and awareness could surpass force. Violence was not the path to understanding. It was the path to ruin. Humans allowed a brief, controlled contact with the alien fleets. A few ships were guided to hover near cities, receiving energy patterns from the planet. The pulse conveyed understanding, warning, and an offer: coexistence, respect, and learning. No fleets were harmed. No battles were fought. And yet, the galaxy had been forever changed. In the councils of distant worlds, debate turned to reflection. Leaders who had once called for attack now argued for observation, diplomacy, and learning. Ambition still existed, but it was tempered by awe and caution. Every species realized that humans had discovered something far beyond mere technology. A partnership with their planet, a consciousness that could not be matched by weapons alone. Beneath the cities, humans exhaled. They had protected Earth. They had communicated with the galaxy. And they had done so without destroying, without killing, without starting a war. The planet pulsed in satisfaction, steady and strong, like a heartbeat echoing across the stars. The alien fleets slowly withdrew, returning to orbit or retreating to distant systems. Many would return later, curious and cautious, hoping to learn more. Some would never return, humbled by the display of intelligence and power. And across the galaxy, the story of Earth spread, not as a tale of conquest, but as a warning and a lesson. Never underestimate the voice of life, especially when it speaks as one with a planet. Humans looked up at the night sky from deep underground facilities. The stars were the same, yet everything had changed. They had faced the galaxy and shown that silence could be strength, awareness could be power, and intelligence could triumph without violence. The pulse of Earth flowed through them, a living, breathing testament to the resilience and ingenuity of life. And as the last fleets disappeared into the void, Earth remained quiet again, at least to those who could not feel its heartbeat. But now, every civilization that had glimpsed it knew the truth. The planet was alive, humanity was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same. The stars watched silently, the blue planet pulsed steadily, and humans prepared for the next chapter. For they knew this was only the beginning.